Please note that these videos are for educational purposes only and not to be taken in any form of advice. Past performance is not indicative of future results. If you need to know more, please visit our website at www.esttrader.com. So the question is, what causes for us to have or to dwell upon certain things, especially with the emotion of regret? One is that, say, for example, here, it tanked to the downside. Say you already exited. And see, that's the thing about human emotion, is that we will, like, living on a double-edged sword. So we could prove to ourselves that we're right both ways. Because, say, for argument's sake, you close your position here at demand. You say you sold over here, and then you bought over here, and say you made this profit on this side. So you made 10 points, which is equates to 40 ticks. That's $10, basically, with one micro lot, right? $10. And it dropped another, say 92, 72, another 20 points. So you drop another 20 points, that's another $20. On the other hand, this portion over here is a sign of regret, like, oh, dang it, if I didn't close my position, then I would make another $20. So that's one thing. Number two, but the question, actually, before we pursue into that, the question is, what causes that level of regret? That level of regret causes an emotion simply of excitement. The adrenaline kicks in because you see you're at a profit. You're in a green, you're at a profit right there. And that excitement creates anxiety. When anxiety kicks in and you won't be able to control that emotion, then you will close the trade. Why? Because that anxiety is also connected to fear of losing of what you already gained. Does that make sense? They're all connected into it.
Yep.
Fear of losing what you have gained. And this is part of the ego of fear now. As when we're dealing here with the opposite side of intuition, intuition is now part of who I am, where if you know who you are, then there's no ego or fear, then it will be the state of confidence, belief, trust, and so forth. Okay, so, and because if that would be the case, then nothing in terms of energy vibration, you're not being what's the word I'm looking for? Affected by your beingness of who you are. Now, but because the ego is stronger than who you are, and that's why the conscious mind will take over of the ego of fear, and this is why we close the position really, really quickly, rather than knowing patience, by being objective, that if you're seeing a lot of, say, movement, a lot of force, 1 hour is still a lot of movement. But if you're doing and you're dealing with shorter term time frame, and that's based on your intent. So to see, that's why intention is so important. If your intention is to trade shorter term time frames, then stick to short term time frames, because that is your intent. But that intention lead comes also from your choice, the choice, or the choosing, the freedom to choose within that moment, because that moment is the right time within that short-term time frame. That's why the danger part of multiple time frame analysis is simply when you are now mix and matching time frames because of your intention, which is no longer in synchronicity with the intent that you're willing to do. So if the short term is here and within the demand, because that breakout will only happen. So watch this. If I go click here the 5-minute time frame, within 4 here, see, there is a correction on that side before a breakout happened. Short-term time frame will show the breakout. So if the breakout basically happens, what can you do on a short-term time frame? Re-enter and you just short it because you made your money, then continue within that. But what causes for humans to no longer trade or go back in again is because of the fear that you might pay, that you're going to give it away or you're going to give it back, because in the past you got slapped numerous times. So in a physical contact, simply when someone gets hit in the face, they don't know what to do. They get frozen, and either they're not going to fight back because that's part of fear, the flight and fight response. They're going to fly away, they're going to hide, or you're going to fight back. Now, if you're used to being hit and you react to hit back, then you're going to hit back. You're going to be with it. That's where you can control within that emotion, where the true awareness basically happens. So that being said, if within the 4-hourly time frame, or say back to the 1 hour, and you're saying this, if your intention is to stay a little bit longer because you're being objective, where's the next level of demand? Okay, 41.76, 41.60. If it goes through there, no problem, because this is not what happens. If, say for argument's sake, you close and then it came back up, what will be the other justification of oneself? Luckily I got out, because if I didn't get out, then I would have given part of my profits away. Yeah. So in other words, that's also coming now. And the reason why I'm also sharing this, because I have also the same issue in the past, because nobody wants to lose. And greed happens. And now the ego of righteousness will kick in, because you want to be right in both ways, regardless of what it is. That if it goes the upside, luckily I closed my position. See, I'm right. Now, traders who use demo trading are also on the same ego of righteousness, because they don't want to lose any money. So how can they lose money if they're trading demo? They cannot make money either, because it's demo. That's why for me, demo trading is useless. It doesn't work. Demo trading is only good for practicing a theory that you don't know at the very beginning, to basically test it. And then from the testing, you still have to put real money on the line to prove whether the theory really works in a real-time environment, because emotions will kick in. So that being said, same thing, that when you're sitting on the sidelines, when people sit on the sidelines, they have no level of commitment. That's the lack of commitment, because they either want to be right on both ways, right? That's why the market is so, they're ruthless, basically. But there's also a lot of lessons to be learned, because that's what keeps you basically humble as a trader, because it will kick your butt whether you like it or not. So the markets will always lead you to who you are as an individual. It's no longer to do about the trading system at the end of the day. It's all about who we are as an individual. But can we go back to who we are in a sense of being confident, trustworthy, patient, having faith in oneself that you can believe that you can do it based on your own intuitiveness, and not to be righteous, to be courageous, and to have an open mind, and to be in a space of abundance, that if you're there, so if you've made money and you close a position, the question is, are you happy with it? And this is what happens in terms of happiness. A lot of people are not happy with what they have because they're not being grateful of what they have. They're not appreciative of what they have. So when you think about it, if you made $10, $10 is better than $1, better than minus 10. Yes, would it be nice to have another $20? Absolutely. $30, but you already made $10. Did you gain anything? Nothing. You gained $10. Did you lose anything? Nothing. So that's where going back to who we are as individuals, as a human being, is so important to go back in there again.